Hi friends, welcome to Webcamp. In this video, I'm going to discuss what is the data factory in Microsoft Fabric. So, as we know that Fabric is a all-in-one data solution for the data analysis, data engineering, and data science purpose. Right. So, data factory is a cloud-based integration services. So, what you can do inside the data factory, so you can create, schedule, and manage the data pipelines. Okay. So pipelines, what is the purpose of pipelines? We have already discussed. We created one pipeline in my past videos. I shown that. So you can go through that if you don't know what is the data pipeline. Okay. So that is used. Pipeline is used to move and transform the data from various sources. Two things. Move meaning data transforming. Okay. Data making the changes to the data and then storing somewhere else. Hmm. That's what the meaning of move and transform the data from various sources to various destinations in the cloud. So it enables users to integrate data from various sources, then orchestrate the data pipeline. So we will see what does mean by orchestration, data orchestration. So that is a big thing, and that is what the main in we can say the inside the data factory. Then transform the data to support the data analytics and business intelligence across the different Microsoft Fabric components. So, what kind of components, such as Synapse data engineering, data warehousing, data science, and Power BI? Right. So, using data factory, what we can do, we can perform the fast copy operation between clouds, okay, to both the data flow and data pipeline. So, with fast copy, you can move the data between your favorite data stores, meaning favorite meaning the Fabric allows you to like lake house and warehouse, or you can store the data in the Azure SQL or Azure blob storage, okay, or Azure data lake. So there you can store the data instantly. And that operation data copy data operation performs very, or it happens very fast in the cloud. Okay. So there are two primary high level features that data factory implements. So what we can implement in the data factory. So first we can create a data flow, and second we can create a data pipeline. Okay. So data flow, it provides a low code interface, meaning you don't need to do any kind of coding, right? So you just have to use the default connectors to connect with the different sources. In your data flow allows 300 plus data transformations, and there are lots of connectors already configured you can directly use to connect with that source. Then you can perform 300 plus data transformations operation, then load the data into the destination. Okay. So in Fabric we use lakehouse or warehouse as a destination. Even data flow can run repeatedly using manual or scheduled refresh. So we can do that also. So we can schedule data flows to run at a specific time, or data flow can be used as a part of pipeline. So we will see that part also. Okay, so data flow is nothing but Power Query editor. If you are familiar with the Power BI, and you can use the all the available meaning the query editor is it can be used in Excel, Power BI, Power Platform. even in Dynamic 365 inside. Also, this is available across all the Microsoft products. So Power Query empowers all users. Okay, meaning anyone. It's not like that you need a programming skill and all to use or to understand the query editor operations and all. Anyone who is from tech background, who is from non-tech background, they can use this. That's why it is called a low code interface. So coding is not required. Code will be generated automatically as you perform the operations, as you select the tasks and operations on the or inside the data flow. Okay, and it can be used to perform the joins, aggregation, data cleaning, then some custom transformations and much more. Right. So when we are very well known with the query editor, so it is good if you have a Power BI skill, right? So data pipeline, even it enables powerful workflow capabilities at the cloud. So using data pipeline, what you can do, you can build a complex workflows that can refreshes your data flow. Even you can refreshes your Power BI semantic models. Okay, and you can move the petabyte size data, meaning very large size of data can be moved using this pipeline. And even what you can do, you can define the control flow for the pipeline. Okay, so we will come to know the how we can define the control flow and all. But before that, let's see how the pipeline, how the data flow is been created, or how it stores inside the Fabric workspace. So using data pipeline, you can build complex ETL or data factory workflows that can perform the many different tasks at a scale. Okay, so control flow capabilities are built into the data pipeline, meaning you will be able to decide if your activity gets failed, what should be the next task. If your activity on meaning it is succeeded, what should it do. So like this you can define the flow of activity as per the requirements. So that is what termed as a work logic here, and which provides loops and conditionals statement also, meaning if else and for loop you can have. So this is what the part of activity. Right. So let's review once what is the data flow and all. If you come to the Power BI, if you go to the Fabric workspace, and so this is the name I have given to the workspace. You can give the name as per your interest. So this is what the pipeline I have created, and there could be a one more data flow. You can see in the type. Okay, name could be anything, but data flow generation two. So this is the data flow. If you see here, as I said, this is nothing but the power online Power Query editor, right? So it's not anything else, and you will be able to perform the ETL or ELT operation here. Then if I come to the, okay, let me close it from here, and if I open the data pipeline, so this is a pipeline, and actually this is the a data factory view. Okay, so if you create a pipeline in Fabric, so here you will be perform all the things from the data factory. It's not something like you can create data factory and all. In Azure, it works like differently. You can create data factory and then open the data factory console, and then you can perform lots of things. You can define the connectors, and then you can add the activities and all to this window. But here in Microsoft Fabric, it is direct. You If you create the pipeline, that is your data factory. Here you can do uh, work, meaning add the activity, multiple activities. You can perform the control flow or build the work logic. Okay. So lots of things are there inside the data factory. So we will see what is the different things we can do inside the data factory. Okay. So first we saw we can create data flow. We can create a data pipeline. Then another is that copy assistant within the pipeline. So if you want to copy the data, okay, if you go to the here, and here if you use copy assistant, so it will ask for the destination, it will ask for the source, and then in between you are not going to do some kind of transformation and all. But yes, you can connect two different sources directly and perform the data movement operation from one source to another source. Yes. So I would like to cancel that. I'm not going to perform this. So this is the one I discussed in my one of the previous video. So you can refer those previous videos to understand how to create copy data assistant. So you simply need to configure the data source, and then you simply need to define the destination for it. Right. Then data integration in data factory. Okay. So obviously, first of all, what we need is we need a data. Okay. So data integration in factory is designed to streamline and centralize the data across the various sources, whether it is a cloud, whether it is on premises or in a hybrid environment. Your data could be anywhere. You have to bring to the centralized source. Okay. So how you can bring the data? So using data flow. So you in Fabric Data Factory, what you can do is you can build efficient data workflows. So enabling them to leverage the data from multiple sources for the analytics, reporting, and machine learning. Meaning, if your data could be at different sources, so you can bring the data at single storage, and then you can use the data for the analysis purpose, for the reporting purpose, or for the machine learning or data science purpose. So it has extensive connectors configured. So some connectors I shown here, meaning specified here, but yes, this is not limited. Inside the data flow, you will be able to see all the types of connectors, what kind of connectors and all you can use. Okay, so let me go. Okay, not in the data pipeline. I should go for the data flow. Right. So inside a get data, you will be able to see there are many connectors have been configured. If I say new, you will be able to use these many connectors to bring the data. Okay, even all these are categorized as a file connector, as a database connector, as a Microsoft Fabric connector, then Power Platform, then Azure connectors, and even there are multiple online services also. So you can select the data source as you want. Okay. Then there is something called ETL and ELT. So you can load the data. Meaning, see, ETL is nothing but extract, transform, and load. ELT is nothing but extract, load, and then transform. So, what is the difference between these two? We will discuss. So, these are the two core integration patterns that Microsoft Fabric supports: ETL and ELT. Okay. These approaches enables the data engineers to prepare and move the data from various sources into the destination system, typically for the analysis, reporting, and the purpose is same throughout the entire data factory. Purpose of the data movement is same. So before loading the data into the target or into the destination, right? So ETL is used. So ETL is nothing but extract, transform. Extract is meaning you have to connect to the source and fetch the data. The way you can connect to the SQL, and you can query the data, so the data will be in your bucket like this. So that is extract. Then if you want to perform the cleaning operation, aggregation operation, or perform the joins, perform the pivoting, unpivoting, so according to the data you will decide what kind of operation you have to perform on the data. Maybe some data type of the column you can change. So it completely depends on the data what kind of transformations you can do. Once your data is ready, what you can do, you can load the data into the destination such as data warehouse or data lake for the storing purpose. Right. So obviously you need to store the data somewhere else for the other use. So this is the first, this is what called before loading the data into target. So what we will do before loading the data into target, meaning before loading the data, we will transform the data. Another approach is after loading the data into the target, then when we will transform the data, when we will perform the transformation operation. So in ELT, in extract, load, and transform, this is a modern approach that shifts the transformation step to the destination. Okay. So here, don't think that your destination is lake house or warehouse. Okay. So you are going to load the data in simply into that as it is. So you will pull the data from the source, and often minimum transformation or filtering you will do. Okay, you will not do much operations on the data, and you will load the data as it is directly into the destination. Right. Then what you will do before using the data, meaning whenever the data will get used for the analysis purpose, it will be transformed in the target system. This approach leverages the destination processing power. Okay, so for the data engineering purpose, we may use good configuration or good compute power, right? So there, these transformations will work faster. So this make it ideal for the scalable storage and transformation. Okay, so how you can define what you want to use, or what you should use ETL or ELT in data factory. First one is data volume and complexity. So ELT is often more suitable for the large and complex data sets that require high performance computing for the transformation. If your data set is very large, okay, and you have to do some kind of complex transformations in that, so in that case, or in meaning To perform all these operations, you need more resources, or you need a high performance of the computing power. So in that case, ELT is best. Otherwise, ETL is better for the smaller, cleaner data set that needs structured transformations before loading. So, so this is the one requirement that you can define what you can, what you should use, ETL or ELT. Then infrastructure and storage cost. So ELT may save on transformation cost by using the cloud-based power of destination system, while ETL may preferred on premises. Meaning, if you want to perform the ETL operation, so the it may preferred on the on-premises or hybrid environment with the specific data requirement. Data governance and compliance. So ETL offers more control, data quality before it reaches to the destination, which may be a beneficial. I mean, obviously, your data is in clean format, or data quality is good in ETL operation. So it may give you the more control over the data quality, because we are transforming the data before it loading to the destination. So Microsoft Fabric enables both ETL and ELT approaches, allowing user to choose best suited method as per their needs, or we can their needs, and then storage resources and analytics goal. You can define what method you want to use for the data integration purpose. Okay. Then data transformations, how you can do the data transformations using online query editor, meaning the data flow, and then data mapping. If you are using copy assistant, you can directly map the data, and this is for the structured data. Okay. Then you can use Synapse notebook also. So you can write custom scripts using Python, SQL, R, or Spark, PySpark, right? So to perform the complex transformations, or to enable the machine learning models for the predictive transformations within the data pipeline. So you can do that also. So machine learning integration you can perform. Then data preparation for the big data. So running Spark job for large scale transformations using distributed computing. So this is what you can do using the Synapse notebook. Data wrangling you can do inside the data flow. In my data flow video, I discussed how you can select the data wrangling and all. So it is again the few operations that you can perform to clean the data, to reshape the data, or to perform the joins and merge on the data. Right. Then by using external compute service also, you can perform the transformation. So by using Azure Databricks, Azure Synapse, and Azure Machine Learning also. So data can be transformed in the data factory using all these. Right. Then what is the data pipeline orchestration? So this is a very important. You should understand. This will give you the entire overview of data factory. Right. So orchestration is the process of coordinating and managing the data workflow that connect, transform, and move the data across the various sources and destinations. So how you can manage? So it enables user to automate the complex data workflow by defining the sequence. So we will define the sequence. Then dependencies of task. You will define the dependencies of task. You can add the triggers, handle the errors, and monitor the performance also. So lots of things you can do in the data factory in the terms of data orchestration. Okay, so this helps in streamline the data preparation, injection, transformations, and even making it easy to manage large scale data projects within single platform. Right. So what is the features of data orchestration? So first one is the data pipeline activity. What is a pipeline activity? If you come here, okay, let me open the pipeline. Okay, I'll switch on this. So let me close this and let's save that. Okay, so now I am here inside the activity. So what you can see here is one activity. Okay, for that activity you can see the source, general setting, destination, mapping and all. So this is the mapping, right? And setting you can see. So all these things are depends on the what kind of activity you are using. You will be able to define these parameters, right? So now if you go to the activities, few activities are here, but if you go to the activities, you will be able to see copy data, data flow, notebook, and then get metadata, lookup, script, then store procedure, then if conditions, right? So this is again if else, if false, meaning you can specify the condition accordingly. The flow will be changed. All right. Then you can use for loop container also. So let me delete that. Okay. And if you go and click on this ellipsis, you will be able to see all the activities. What is Azure function? You can refresh the Power BI semantic models. Okay. And you can use Azure HD inside Azure Batch. Then Outlook you can use, Teams you can use, Spark job definition you can define, then script, then KQL. So Kusto query language you can use here. Then Azure machine learning is there. So that is what the part of data factory in the terms of activity. So lots of activities are there. You can perform many things, right? So this is nothing but activity. Okay, so now the definition of activity is just a logical grouping of activity, meaning the pipeline activity is logical grouping of activity that perform the various tasks within data workflow. So for the data movement, common activities are data movement. You can have the storage accounts, databases, and other system data transformations that you can build using the data flow or Spark, Python, or SQL language. Then you can control the flow using if condition, for each, and then wait to handle work logic or set the flow between activities. So we will see all the use of these activities one by one in coming videos, right? The next is once you define the uh, flow or pipeline by adding multiple activities. So first of all, I would like to copy the data. Once my copy data is done, then I would like to perform some kind of operations. So here I will select on completion, and then once this copy activity gets completed, my data flow should work. Okay, so wherever I have copied the data from there, from that data I'll start performing some kind of transformations on that data. Okay, then I will use notebook to integrate the machine learning and all. Okay, to do some kind of predictions on the data. So like this I can define the pipeline, right? So when this gets succeeded, this should work, meaning this should be this activity should be executed. Okay, but yes, once you define the activities and workflow, you will be able to schedule it, or you can add the trigger. Okay, so there are types of schedules, meaning types of triggers I can say. So you will be able to schedule start the pipeline at a specific time. Even event based triggers you can add. So like event based meaning the way we have the triggers in the database, right? If something is happening in the database, some activity or some SQL code should get executed. Similarly, we can define this also, this pipeline also. So it should get executed if the any event happens, meaning such as new file uploaded in the cloud storage, a new record inserted into the data storage, or meaning at the source or at the destination. So depends on the need, we can build that logic. Then manual triggers also, you will be able to initiate the pipeline, meaning as you need it, meaning there is a run button, you will be able to trigger this as you want. Then parameterization, you can create the parameters and then you will be able to use those parameters while setting up the activity and all. So we will discuss parameterization also in detail. Okay. Then dependency management. So data factory allows user to define the dependencies between activity to control the sequence in which they run. Okay. So here there are on skip, then on success, on fail, and on completion. So these are the dependencies in data factory that you can use to control the sequence in which all the activities will be run. For example, an activity can start only after the successful completion of previous one. So this will just help to manage the dependencies and prevent the failure in complex workflow. Okay. Then error handling, you will be able to do. Okay, this is again if there is a on fail. Okay, so meaning if you are this um, copy data activity get failed because of some error, so what it should do, it should okay, let me delete this, and it should start executing the notebook. Okay, this is what I would like to define, right? So this is again error handling in programming, and here you can do that using the on fill dependency. So just error handling and retry logic. Okay, so you can build this also. So if you go here, inside the general, so there is a timeout, then retry how many times you can try if this get failed, and retry interval, you can define all these things here. Then you can and that's what describes mean this discussed, that retry policy configure the activities to automatically retry in case of transient error. Then error handling on failure activity, on failure action, we can use to manage the activity and to prevent the pipeline disruption, or to handle the specific exception with custom logic. So this is what we discussed, right? The next is concurrency and parallelism, that can be achieved, meaning if you want to perform the here. So concurrency and parallelism, meaning the way threading works, you can use the loops here to perform the multiple meaning the same activity, but or same pipeline, we can say, but for the multiple files, meaning if you are processing of multiple files. So if you want to process all the files at the same time, you will be able to do this. So we will discuss again this in detail. Then what you can do is integration with the other Microsoft services, so that there is an option. Okay, so very easily you will be able to perform the things. So there is an option to refresh. Okay, this is just an example. So you will be able to replace a semantic model, but you need to define few parameters. So this is a semantic model description and all, but how you can, so this is general setting, advanced and all, retrieve internal, and then connection. So you will be able to configure the connection with your Power BI. And then go and select the specific model and all. Then it will, meaning you will be able to trigger, meaning once you are let's say your data flow is get completed, meaning you have transformed the data and loaded the data into the lake house. From there you are pulling the data into the Power BI. You will be able to refresh that, okay, inside the this pipeline only. Then monitoring and logging. Okay, so if you go to the, if you come here on the home, if you run this, okay, so if I run this, but this will get failed because I have not configured this. Okay, and I'll just go to the view and run history, so you will be able to see this pipeline run history. But if you want to go and go to the monitor, you will be able to jump, and here you can see the list of activities or list of pipelines or data flows that has been executed. You will be able to export this, okay, uh, into the CSV file also format. Then what kind of columns you would like to see here, you will be able to define, right? So this is what the monitoring. And if you come here, so you will be able to see all the refreshes from the beginning, right? So this is the monitoring, meaning you will be able to monitor and all the information, whether the pipeline or activity or the data flow get succeeded or so, meaning it will log, it will store the information. You will be able to view at any time, to identify the errors, to review the historical performance, and even user can monitor in real time also. So meaning if you configure all the things, you will be able to monitor that at the same time while it running. That is also possible in data factory, right? So this is not the complete, I know this is just a brief introduction what you can do inside the data factory, and we will see uh, all the activities, how we can use the data factory very efficiently in future. So do not forget to subscribe webchamp. Thank you so much for watching the video. Have a nice day.